Tonight, we've got an incredible game, potentially a finals preview. The Boston Celtics, the best team in the NBA, the best record in the NBA, going up against the defending champion Denver Nuggets in Denver. Now, if we remember, Denver beat Boston in one of the best games of the regular season so far, not too long ago. A few things from that game that I thought were really interesting. It's one of the few games this season that Michael Malone put Aaron Gordon as the backup five. He shortened that rotation. We saw that throughout last year's playoff run. They really treated that game like a playoff game. Both these teams have played excellent basketball of late. They lost, of course, last night. Boston blowing a 22-point lead against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. That was a super entertaining game. And then Denver losing to Phoenix in overtime. They fought back in Denver. They were also down big. And ultimately, Kevin Durant just took over in that overtime. But these two teams, I say this all the time, they both have an identity. They both have a way that they play. They both have ways to exploit mismatches. You want to go small? Okay, who's going to guard Aaron Gordon? Who's going to guard him? Because Nikola Jokic is going to find him in the paint. End of game for the Denver Nuggets. They're going to go to their two-man action with Jokic and Murray. And you've got shooters, and you've got Aaron Gordon lurking on the baseline and the dunker spot. Boston, of course, they play in a way that exploits mismatches constantly. I do want to bring up the fourth quarter last night against Cleveland. Got a little sloppy with the ball, got a little sloppy with their closeouts on shooters. Dean Wade, of course, outscored the Boston Celtics himself in the fourth quarter. The metrics say that the Boston Celtics fourth quarter and clutch offense has been awesome. And it has. I believe they're the fourth best offense in clutch time, the seventh best offense in the fourth quarter overall. But I found a little interesting nugget from Matthew Williams. Boston, in the fourth quarter, have ISO'd the fourth most in the NBA in terms of frequency. So fourth most ISOs per 100 possessions. They are 27th in points per possession on those ISOs in the fourth quarter in the NBA. At times, their offense feels a little stagnated in the fourth. And I know you can get a lot if you want to manipulate a Derek White, Jayson Tatum pick and roll and get Derek White's defender on Jayson Tatum and play out of that. But I really believe this. Like, at times, it feels like you need a little bit of movement, a little bit more movement. The White Porzingis pick and roll, Cleveland did a great job of that last night. So something to watch, because I think this is going to be another close game like it was in Boston. Something to watch is Boston's late game execution. It's been sort of a theme, but again, the metrics all say good stuff, minus those ISO numbers. A couple things I'm interested in particular with this game is the matchups. You know, I brought up Aaron Gordon playing backup center in that first matchup. How does Boston look to exploit? I think Michael Porter Jr. is probably the guy that they'll hunt at times. They'll probably hunt Jama Murray at times. On the other end, how does Boston match up with Jokic? He just had his way with Porzingis. Is Boston going to double? Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, who I had that game earlier, Joe Mazzulla decided I'm not going to blitz Jalen Brunson, even though that was the prevailing wisdom of most teams right now going against the New York Knicks. We're going to blitz Jalen Brunson with Julius Randle out. He's been blitzed the second most times in the NBA. Joe Mazzulla said, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get into rotation. I'm going to trust my guards. I'm going to trust Derek White on him. I'm going to trust Drew Holiday on him. I don't want to get into rotations, not just for threes. The Knicks are a great offensive rebound team. I don't want to get into rotations because then I'm out of position to get offensive, to get defensive rebounds. So how Boston matches up, how Denver matches up with Boston, it's going to be a fascinating chess match between these two coaches. Very excited about it. I think both these teams are certainly at the top of the list if you talk about championship contenders. Boston opened the season at plus 500 on DraftKings Sportsbook to be the NBA champion. Denver opened at plus 600 as the defending champs. Right now, they have the two best odds in the NBA. Boston at plus 230, Denver at plus 450. The Clippers in third at plus 475, and Milwaukee in fourth at plus 700. Look, to be in the NBA Finals, you have to ask yourself, can a team beat the Boston Celtics in 7 games? This version, not last year's version, this version with Kristaps, Porzingis, and Drew Holiday added to this team, with Derek White being unlocked because he's now the primary ball handler on this team. Can you beat them 4 out of 7 times? And with the Denver Nuggets, a proven champion now at this point, but in a much tougher Western Conference, a loaded Western Conference. There's no easy matchups. There's no easy first-round matchups in this conference. It's going to be fascinating to see if these two teams can get to the NBA Finals. This has been the DraftKings Sportsbook segment. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code JJ. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JJ. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/promos for deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.